Okay. I'm here. What the heck? Why do I have a dog on? Hold on. They talking about my video made for kids. Why are they playing with me, bro? Like, let me see if I can change this. Like, what are they doing? Okay. Um. Okay. Hopefully. Um. I just changed it. It was saying made for kids. I don't know why. I think they do that just based on like your thumbnail or something. Yay. Okay, I was about to say if nobody can comment then then I know that it's still hasn't updated yet. But hey Chakra King Black. I just wanted to go live really quick and talk about I'm not even gonna talk about the situation that's going on because it really don't have nothing to do with me. But I do want to just okay, so I want to make sure this come out the right way. Because when I say I told you so, I'm not talking about like anybody that's like been betrayed or whatever the case may be. I'm talking about like there was a whole lot of people that try to make it seem like either I was lying or like I had to want somebody. Hey, Miss Queen Sunkiss. And that was never the fucking case. And my thing is this, like I don't even know where to start. I took some notes. Like I took some notes about what I wanted to say. But basically, I'm gonna just say this, right? You can okay. You this is something that I think women have to learn. You know, sometimes you could see like a little animal and you can be like, "Oh, it's cute," "Oh, it reminds me of my little dog or whatever that I got at home, blah blah blah." But you have to realize like when it's a wild animal. I mean, that sounds fucked up, but what I'm saying is you can't always be out here giving people the benefit of the doubt, and that's where I went wrong. Okay, Miss Queen Sunkiss, thank you. Catch the playback. But that's where the fuck I went wrong. Cause you treating a damn okay. You can't put it like this. You can't think that a wild animal is your friend. It might be cute, you know what I'm saying? It might, you know what I mean, do funny shit. It might be entertaining, but you can't have it in your house like it's a damn pet, like I got my cat right here. And that's where people are going wrong. And I didn't even really go that far wrong. People made a big ass deal about the situation with me. Hey, Lena Love, good to see you. Hey, Soul Provider. If I ain't speak, let me see if I spoke to everybody. Chakra King Black, it's Queen Sun Kiss. Yeah, people made a huge deal about my situation, and that's why I said y'all really doing the most about this little non situation that was going on. Nothing happened. When I say literally nothing happened, because I'm like, okay, nobody's married, nobody got no naked pics, nobody's pregnant. It was just, I mean, it wasn't entertainment for me, but clearly it was entertainment for somebody else. But it was nothing, and you know why it was nothing? It could be multiple reasons, but let me tell you one thing. Now, I don't think I'm this. Okay, I'm not even gonna go there. But let me just say this. One of the reasons that it was nothing is because I would never ever in life go there. I cannot believe that people were seriously going there. The shit is crazy to me. But that is one thing I would never ever have done. And it don't have nothing to do with me being better than nobody. It's just, people know what they want. People know what they willing to deal with, what they willing to tolerate. And people like what they like. I like nerds. You know what I'm saying? I like blurs. I like guys that know computers. I like guys that play video games. I like educated lames. That's my type. Now, just because, now I'm not saying nobody outside of that could be attractive, of course, but this is the thing. A lot of these women, they don't know like where to draw the line. And I'm not talking about anybody specifically. This is all I'm saying. What I'm saying is you make the mistake of treating somebody like a human being or giving somebody a chance, and that's where you go wrong. So there was like a little blowout today, and I'm I'm not gonna say disappointed, but I'm gonna say that I'm disappointed for that person, because like I know, like when you act up and you didn't mean to act up, it's really like you can be disappointed in yourself, when you give in and you act the damn fool, based on like somebody else trolling. So now the thing is, like, I think now it was a completely different situation with me, because I didn't, I don't know these, I didn't know that nigga like that. But the thing is that I think that that person figured out is you could never get a reaction out of me by ignoring me. You would, I mean, ever, you will never get a reaction out of me by ignoring me, because that's not my trigger. We gonna ignore each other. So I should have known, like, okay, this person trying to get a reaction out of me, that should have been my clue to like ignore them. But um, all right. So now I want to say, you know how they say, well, if it looks like this, it looks like this, it looks like this. Okay, so I want to ask, what does it look like now? You know, if it looked like a certain way with me, I want to ask now. Today, what was today? July 14th, 2026, at 7:26 p.m. What does it look like now? That's what I want to know. Because everybody said I was bitter, over somebody that I never wanted, didn't want. Everybody said that it was more than what I was making it out to be. It never was. Everybody said it was more going on behind the scenes. It never was. You know what I mean? So I just want to know, like, why was me saying that wasn't true not enough? Why is it not enough for me to feel let down or disrespected or hurt as a friend? Was that not enough? Was that not enough? And I really wish y'all stop with this narrative of like the bitter woman. You know what I mean? Because not everybody want these niggas. Not everybody want these niggas. So okay, so let me just look at my notes. Yeah, the narrative of the scorned woman needs to stop. Stop trying to make every black woman desperate and bitter. Not everybody wants these niggas. Okay. Yes, a person can have swag, they can have a nice voice, masculine energy, blah blah blah. That don't mean that you about to take them serious. It don't mean that. Never in my motherfucking life would I ever do that to myself. Ever. Ever. It would have never fucking happened. Just never. And that's kind of why, I mean, and I gotta stop being so reactive, but that's what pissed me off about it, like the whole situation, and like why I was crashing out, because it's like, y'all, okay, let me just keep going. I want to also say this is, you know what, I'm gonna skip that. I'm gonna skip that. Okay, so I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna just say it's never like the most obvious suspect. It never is. I never talked to that person 2 days in a row. Like, it never happened. There was minimal, when I say minimal Cash App activity, minimal Cash App activity. Um, um, and I do want to say this. I don't think, okay, this is going to be kind of out of order, because I was like jotting down my thoughts, but I didn't put them in order. So let me say this. I never needed nobody's money, never asked for nobody's money. I don't even post my Cash App, So, I mean, that was never like, what I'm saying is there would have been no fucking reason for me to even go there. So I want to say that all dick ain't good dick. I need women to understand that. It's not worth it. Some of these women need to get a vibrator and a career. One of the two. If you don't have a career, get a career. Then that'll take care of that problem where you had to have a bitch nigga in your face, telling you what to do and helping you make ends meet month to month. That'll take care of that problem. Get a fucking vibrator, and then you won't girl. What I'm gonna have to take this shit down. All I'm saying is that, okay, I'm not gonna judge what nobody else do. It's up to everybody else what they do. But my thing is, you're gonna always find out that it's not worth it. It's never gonna be worth it. People need to learn how to keep dirty dick in dirty dick place. I'm gonna just say that. And what happens is when you take Dirty dick. You take somebody that should be relegated to the position of like, a friend or a friend with benefits or whatever the case may be, and then you try to promote them to the point where you taking them seriously, you're going to get hurt every time. There have been people in the past that have been hurt. There are people currently getting hurt. There's going to be people in the future that's getting fucking hurt because they're ignoring the signs. There's a big ass sign in front of the damn exhibit saying, do not feed the animals, do not reach your hand into the damn enclosure, don't do it. But people still doing it anyway. But then and I did it too. I just didn't do it in the same way. But trust and believe, I did the shit too. And the reason why I say I did it is because of course I heard things about this person, you know what I mean? But my thing is, I'm the type of person, I'm not going to necessarily listen to what people say because, people had their own reasons for saying what they're going to say. And I wasn't there for when all of this shit was going down. But not only that, but the people that was involved, it was either people that, was in some type of relationship with this person, which I never planned to be. So I ain't got to worry about whatever fuck going on with that. Or people that, they actively beefing with. So, but at the same time, this is the thing. You have to know, like, who you can trust, and people will flip on you. And I do feel like that person did flip on me. But the thing is, he could only flip so much because I know when not to put my hand in the goddamn, you know what I'm saying? I know when to pull my hand out of that bitch, is what I'm saying. I would have never told this nigga anything that I was not comfortable with everybody on YouTube knowing. Nothing. And this, he didn't know anything about me. Hey Tiff. He didn't know anything about me. The only thing, when I tell you, the only things I have told this nigga, he has repeated on YouTube. And then whatever else he didn't know, he lied about it. That's why he had to tell so many goddamn lies. The nigga don't know nothing about me. I would never tell this nigga what I do. I would never tell him my first name. You know what I mean? I would never tell him who the fuck my family is or what, nothing like that, because you gotta realize, like, I might have not been snaked by this person at that time, but at the same time, I still had enough like wariness to know that, hey, well, if this is a person that exposed somebody news already, if this is somebody who's, there's somebody that's supposed to be his friend, somebody exposed her news and he get on here and let everybody know that that is her news, even when she was denying the shit. What type of, you don't trust nobody like that. You don't tell nobody like that your information. Let me tell y'all what this nigga know about me. My age. Okay, that nigga, I said, and I'm sure whenever I told him my age, I said, don't tell nobody. I know for a fucking fact that that's what I said when I said it. So the whole YouTube found out my age because, hey, I told it to the nigga. I told him what neighborhood my parents live in. And he repeated that to YouTube, so I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So, I mean, to me, that's enough information for a nigga like that. Don't nobody needs to know what I do. You don't need to know what school I graduated from. You need to not know none of that shit, because you ain't gonna do right by it. You ain't gonna do right with it. And that's the thing. A lot of times people can't help themselves, and you can't. And I'm not talking about this person, but I'm saying, like, a lot of times, people just the way they are, and you gotta, okay, Sheba, you gotta feed some people with a long spoon. That's all I'm saying. So, but in his case, I think that he's very well aware of, like, what he's doing and the havoc that he's wreaking. So I'm saying that wouldn't apply to him. But at the time, I just didn't know. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I don't know, like, and it's the thing, this shit is looking real bad. At this point, like, this shit is looking real bad. You know what I mean? Because at first it's like, oh, this is funny. This is cute. Oh yeah, the space been dry. But this shit is starting to look real. You know what I'm saying? It's not cute. It's just starting to look real fucking dirty and slimy and real backstabbing and just real low down. That's what the shit is starting to look like, But my thing is, how much attention do you fucking need? How much attention do you need? So it's like, I'm finding out that this person paid for the attention that they got about 9 months ago. I mean, to me, now the whole skit thing, I never like had, to me, you could play a prank on people. I'm not mad at nobody playing no prank. Like, I'm not mad at that. I don't really see a problem with that. But now today I found out that the people that participated in the skit was paid to participate in the skit. Now I ain't gonna lie, that does make me look at it a little bit differently. Because to me, like, if you, and y'all, I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna be real blunt in this video. I'm not gonna be too blunt, but I'm just saying, like, don't nobody take offense to anything I'm about to say. But once somebody is paying like serious money for something like that, then you got to ask yourself, like, okay, well, what's this person motivation? Because you're not doing all this shit for no entertainment. Like, you trying to accomplish something. So what is it? And then it also made me feel like the people that got paid to do it, it kind it makes me feel like they weren't in it for the fun, they were in it for the money. And so then that does make me kind of feel some type of way, because sometimes somebody can be playing a joke and you can get involved or whatever, you might feel foolish or whatever, if get your feelings hurt. Okay, that's fine. But the fact that somebody was paid to do it, I'm gonna just say this, I don't have nothing against, those people. I still, I love both of those people. YouTube love, you know what I mean? But I feel like that's just another sign of like how deep the rabbit hole goes. So I'm gonna say this. He I remember this person saying that I wasn't gonna stop communicating with them, I wasn't gonna stop coming around them, I wasn't gonna stop talking to them, and that I didn't want this, what was going on, to stop, because I was so called hot and I don't want it, whatever, to stop. That was incorrect. That was false. I don't want that whole situation was some bullshit. It was not cute. I was not excited by it. I was not happy by it, about it. Nothing. That's not the type of attention that I want. That person saw that. No, I don't. I'm not going to keep coming around. No, I'm not going to keep talking to you in any way, shape, form, fashion, capacity. I regret the whole fucking situation. I learned something from it, and like Mela has said on that that long live, that like 10-hour live, that on that panel I was on, she said, don't you feel like, or some type of way or whatever, about the emotional harm that you could be doing to her. And I said, no, but this is the thing, this is YouTube. So at least for me, that's as far as it went, was YouTube. So I'm not gonna say emotional harm. Okay, yeah, I was hurt. I admit my feelings was hurt, because I just felt like I was being treated badly for no fucking reason at all whatsoever. But now I know that, it all has something to do with feeding this nigga's ego. I'm not gonna try to like dice it up too much. I have a couple of theories about what was actually going on, but my thing is, like, all this could do really is reinforce your conviction to kind of be wiser in the future. Because like, I knew enough to kind of like, keep this person kind of at arm's length. Some people clearly didn't, you know. Okay, what I'm trying to say is, when I'm not trying to like have it come out in the wrong way, but I'm just saying that I am going to take this situation forward and learn from it. So I learned from that situation, and what I learned from it is that you can't just expect somebody to be your friend just because you're their friend. No, not everybody looks at people like people or friends. Some people look at people like objects. Some people look at people as if they are entertainment, or if they bragging rights, so you could try to say somebody wants you, or whatever the case may be. Some people look at people as accessories, whatever. Just but some people only look at people as a means to boost their ego. So what does that mean? They not, when you looking for them, they not gonna take no hits for you. Just because you was willing to take hits for them because you saw them as a fucking person, that don't mean that they feel the same way about you. You just gotta learn that. You know what I mean? And another thing, sometimes people come out, yes, pawns, exactly. Sometimes people come out fucked up, but then a lot of times it be what they go through. And I think people a lot of times want to feel bad for people like that. You know what I mean? And I'm like I said, I always been down for the underdog. I always feel like I got to take up for whoever is, I feel like people beating up on them. But, you know, like I said, that's just because you feel that way about somebody, that does not mean that it's gonna be reciprocated. You could really just be like extending yourself and putting yourself in harm's way for somebody that don't appreciate it or that just would not do the same for you. Yeah, and so that's something that I learned. But I heard a saying, and the saying goes like this: a smart man learns from their own mistakes. A wise man learns from other people's mistakes. So I could say that applies to me, and I could say that applies to other people, because I could have learned from the mistakes of people before me, and the people after me could have learned from my mistakes. So, and there's somebody that could still learn a mistake. I mean, learn from a mistake, but they don't, it's in their own time. That's part of, that's gonna be part of that person's story. Oh, I'm not hurt. What you mean? And I don't. How the fuck are you here? Why are you here? Where you come from? Who told you? What? Okay, I'm gonna ignore you. Um, yeah, but that person was wrong. I don't want that type of attention. I stopped coming around. Stopped acknowledging him. Stopped acknowledging the situation. No part of it was cute to me. No, no part of it. As far as my channel, I stay away from the drama. I do not want to be hot for the wrong reason. That's not, cute to me. I don't want people coming around for dumb shit. That's not what I'm about. So, um, yeah, we live and we learn. Hold on, I'm looking at my notes, y'all. Okay, yeah, I said it already. I'm gonna say this. Um, all this person could say once again is that I valued them as a friend. That's it. And I'm glad that I can fucking say that. Like, I'm glad that I can say that shit. And like I said, I was not gonna say nothing behind the scenes that I wouldn't say up here. So if I say, oh yeah, he got a nice voice, he got swag, yeah, you fucking right, I'll say that. I would never let a nigga like that have nothing on me, ever. Like, you don't let no nigga, you do not let no nigga have nothing on you, especially a nigga like that. So, like, as far as people saying, oh, but you said this, you said that. Yeah, because I don't have to fucking lie to nobody on here. I'm not about to sit up here and act a certain way behind the scenes and then act a certain way up here. It's no difference. It's no difference. So if I tell you wasn't no caking going on, I mean wasn't no caking going on. But yeah, I could say, hey, um, whatever, that person has a certain type of appeal. But like I said, I think people problem is they don't just let a nigga just have a certain type of appeal and then go on their way. Now, if you decide that you want to roll in the mud with a nigga, I mean, I don't blame you. I don't. But this is the problem. Not only is this I'm trying to see how I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna say this. What I heard today, that shit was dead motherfucking wrong. That shit was dead wrong. I can't judge people for how they get down, whatever they want to do behind the scenes, whatever the case may be. But none of that shit should have been brought up here. None of it. None of it. And I'll be wondering, like, okay, so now I would never. So this is not something I would do anyway. I wouldn't engage in that type of, shit. So, but what I'm saying is I kind of already had heard about, some of the shit that he has done. Maybe other people have not heard about it. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm gonna say that shit is real lame, like coming out and saying like what y'all was talking about behind the scenes. That's you too old for that shit. You shouldn't be coming up here talking about what the fuck y'all be talking about. But with that being said, that's why you can't trust nobody like that. Like, you can't. So all the people that said, this is what I want to know. All the people that fucking said that I wanted him, I want to know, where's the proof? And been saying that. I said that way back then. Where's the fucking proof? There would be a recording. There would be a text message, a screenshot. There would be a picture. Yeah, I sent the nigga pictures, but the pictures I sent this nigga is the same type of pictures I would send my great grandmother. I would send my grandma. I would send my pastor. So no, just the fact that, like, I don't know. And it's the thing, people get triggered by the word male identified. But my thing is, if you believe a woman can't have a grievance with a man without it being about her wanting a nigga. So how is that not male identified? And I asked y'all way back then, can somebody fucking prove anything? Can you prove like something, anything? No, there was nothing. But it's like you want me to say like that, like I don't know, man. Okay, so I don't have that much time. What's 25 minutes? Okay, so I'm gonna just go through my what I wrote down is touch on anything that I haven't said. Um oh yeah, I want to say this now. Y'all did me a favor by blocking me. I don't know why the fuck I got blocked. Like it's kind of funny to me because it's like, what the fuck? Like, and my thing is, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person I consider myself cool with everybody. But if you can't handle being called out on your shit in the chat, then okay. I mean, then you just soft. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta block nobody for something like that. I could see if I was just being straight mean and evil because I have blocked a few people since that whole situation went down. But that's just because they was like borderline harassing me. They was being disrespectful as fuck. But I mean, if you couldn't take what the fuck I said and you felt like you had to block me, okay, fine, cool. But I feel like whoever idea it was to block me, y'all did me a fucking favor because this shit right here is messy. I don't. Why would you want to be associated with this shit? Like, why would you? Y'all talking about, man? Come on, dog. Like, I. All right. All right, next point. And the reason why, like, it's like I'm certain stuff I'm not saying because number one, I don't want no nigga to feel like they have to respond to me. I don't want no nigga to feel like I want their attention or nothing like that. I've not been saying nothing to this person. Don't have shit to say to this person. And let me say this. Um, I don't know what that person saw that whole situation as because I went back and I listened to a live from a long time ago. Brownie. But I went back. I had waited to listen to this live because I knew I was gonna get mad, like if I listened to it, but it was a live that Big J did. And I went back and listened to that shit a couple of months ago. I almost went live and responded to that shit. I said, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna just let what's buried stay buried. You know, people was talking a whole lot of shit about stuff they didn't know about. But um my thing is like he was saying, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty. No, I ain't call her male identified specifically. I call whoever was saying what was being said male identified. So I mean, and yeah, I think that anyway. I'm moving on, but I heard this person say that it was something that got out of hand, which I don't understand. Like, I this is my thing. There's sometimes shit can get out of hand, but I don't think that's what this was because there's certain things that you can take back and certain things that you can't take back. And when I tell you, I truly in my heart of hearts believe that that person um was trying to hurt me. um that's not something that I could ever get over. That's not something I could ever forgive, because like there was no reason for that person to intentionally try to hurt me. And I'm not talking about whatever long game was being played or nothing. I'm just talking about like just shit that was said. You know what I mean? You don't, like I said, if if you look at somebody as a person, if you value them as a person, certain shit you're not gonna say, certain shit you're not gonna do. I would never, like put myself like to me, like I said, that person made it clear how they feel about me. I don't have nothing else to say to or about that person except for this video. I'm just saying this just to say, okay. But with that being said, there's some stuff that I'm not saying just because I don't want to turn it into a back and forth, because I'm not going back and forth with nobody, okay, least of all, but and then also it's like it probably would be easier for me to talk about if like it was somebody else that was involved in the latest drama, but I'm cool with that person. So I'm not judging that person. Like I said, people do what they do. I think that they trusted the wrong person or people. I can't even blame them for the leopards eating their face, because like I said, he ate my face too. You know what I mean? It happens. Um, you know, it'll pass. People gonna move on. Um, uh yeah, like I said, that's not a life I want to live. I shouldn't have been having nothing to do with the nigga at all. But I mean, I could drop the link. Okay, let me just go through my shit real fast. Um, let me see if I said. Oh, I want to say this. I never wanted to talk to that nigga behind the scenes. That was the first person I talked to behind the scenes because I just don't believe in mixing all this like YouTube and real life. Just because this shit gets messy, and it's messier than it needs to be. Like no, none of this shit need to be going on. Don't nobody need to be dating nobody. Like, to be honest with you, like, this is, you don't know these people. You, if you in the same area with these people, okay, that's one thing. But the shit that people doing on here, you already know this is the internet. People fucking troll. A lot of these people that are prominent on here, they have some type of personality disorder. And that's why they up here doing the shit that they're doing. That's not anybody I ever wanted to talk to on the phone behind the scenes or nothing, because I felt like it's opening a can of worms, and I see that it definitely did. But some cans of worms are bigger than others. Mine was a small can of worms, even though people tried to blow it up and make it seem like it was a big ass can of worms. It definitely was not. It was like one worm in there. Okay, so, but what happened was somebody had went live on this nigga and was exposing him. And so I happened to be watching it. And so, me being the friend that I am, the friend that y'all would be happy to fucking have, I had messaged him on Cash App, and I was like, oh, this person is live on you. She posting your picture or whatever like that. And so he ended up saying, okay, well, create a Finsta and then call me on there or whatever and tell me about it. So, okay, fine. So that's how I ended up talking to this person behind the scenes. So, but the thing is, he already knew that the person was live talking about him, but he just used that to like get me to talk to him behind the scenes. I don't know, whatever. But that's how that happened. I was trying to help him when I even started talking to him behind the scenes. But like I said, it was never like, I was barely talking to this nigga. So the fact that people thought that I was the one that, what I mean, was in an entanglement, no, it was never me. I never talked to that nigga 2 days in a row. And like I said, if you look at the Cash App activity, that shit is dry. It's like drip nothing. That's what it looked like. I was never talking on the phone with this nigga for no hours, nothing like that. So yeah, because I just feel like it's a bad way to be. You're not gonna get nothing out of it. It's not gonna end well. And the person that's dealing with him right now, I don't have no problem with this young lady. It's a strange situation. And that's the thing. I don't even need to say really too much about that. I don't even have anything to say about that. I'm gonna just say that's not gonna end well either. I'm not waiting for nothing bad to happen to this young lady or nothing like that. But I'm just saying, like, people gotta come on, be real with yourself. Like, I'm not even gonna say too much. I'm not even gonna say nothing. I'm gonna say that. I don't even got it. This is the thing. I think everybody gotta learn for themselves. Yeah, everybody just gotta learn for themselves. That's really all I can say for that. And I mean, I don't know how much money a person would have to give you to like overlook just the glaring red flags, stop signs, red lights, caution signs, yield, all of that shit. I don't know how much money it would take for that, but I'm gonna say this, like, that's why I said no shady. Like, a lot of these women need a dildo and they need a career, and then they would not be getting into this shit. You could avoid a lot of bullshit just by having those two things. So let me say that. All right. I want to say this. I'm just gonna be saying random stuff right now. Whatever I ain't say. I was not now. Now that whole skit thing. I was not confronting Tiff. I know it seemed like that, like just based on like what you saw at the forefront, but no, I was not confronting her. I was kind of like curious about like, okay, why am I being brought up? But the way she kind of explained to me was she was just trying to make it as realistic as possible, So it's like at first I was, because I'm like, why am I being called the whole, like, it was a lot going on. But now that I know, and once again, no shade to anybody, but now that I know that people was being paid, it kind of makes sense, because it's like, a lot was being done at that point in time. And I guess in order to make it believable, it wasn't 100% believable, but some stuff was done that made me kind of wonder if it was actually true. And that's really what I was trying to figure out. Like I was like, hold on. We talking about YouTube babies now? Is that what we talking about? So that's really what it was about. I was not confronting this girl. I never talked to that dude like that. He know that. He know that. Um okay, so what else? Um I'm gonna say this. Man, bro, like I man, like I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna judge nobody. I don't know. Like I don't know. I still don't know the full story. I don't even really want to know the full story because it's not my business. But I'm gonna just say, man, like, and it's the thing. People say the same shit to me, like, stand up, stand up. Like I was doing too much, but at this point, I just feel like, God damn, like this is. I get mad like when people gas these niggas up, you know, like I really do. And it, you know what pissed me off? You know what pissed me off was to hear this nigga say he chose X, Y. And I'm like, man, bruh, how the what? What? And like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about this person because I don't want, like, I'm not trying to start nothing. But for the fact of if a nigga of that caliber have the motherfucking gall and gumption to say that he chose another bitch, is you serious, nigga? Is you for fucking real, bitch? What? Like that, when I tell you that shit triggered me. Now, I don't know what the situation was, but I'm like, okay, so y'all got niggas out here thinking that they choosing? What? Come on, dog. Like, and I don't care what the fuck this person say about me. Okay, yeah, I said you have a nice voice. I said you got swag. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I said the shit and I meant it. But you gotta draw a line some goddamn where. You gotta realize when dick is for entertainment, you might look at it from afar. And that, when I say look at it, I don't mean look at it because I ain't never seen it. But what I'm saying is you gotta just know when to just be flirting with somebody. You gotta know when to take something serious. And that was not nothing for nobody to take serious. And I'm not saying, you know, I don't know who took it serious. I don't know who didn't take it serious. But when I tell you that shit triggered the fuck out of me, and I'm not gonna go down the list of bruh, what? Bro, like I'm gonna be thinking about that for a while. This nigga say he choked. What, nigga? Bro, like I'll leave that alone, man. That pissed me off though. That that shit pissed me off. All right, so I'm almost done. Oh yeah, and as far as putting people business out there, that's what I want to say. Putting people business out there. Like I said, I gave this nigga that I can recall 2 pieces of information about me that I didn't say on the front end. And both of what I said was repeated on the front end. My age and the neighborhood my parents live in. And he said both when he was trying to, you know, not even just like when you slip up and say something, he said it like to be antagonistic to me. Now, me being the person that I am and just, you know, hearing what I had heard about him, like I said, he was never gonna get, I would never got that comfortable with him to be like, you know, giving him info about me. But like I said, we didn't even talk like that. So I don't want, it's not, you know, we wasn't talking like that at all. Whose feelings am I worried about? I'm not worried about nobody's feelings. That's not what it's about. It's just that I'm not trying to like start nothing, you know, because I'm not, you know, I don't want to go back and forth with nobody. I'm not going back and forth with nobody. I'm just speaking on like, really this video is for the people that said that it was about something that it was never fucking about. And I tell you, like, there ain't no type of conversations of that nature was had, you know, like what was spoken about today. And I'm just saying it was nothing like that. And y'all really wanted to put that on me. And I'm like, where are y'all getting this shit from? Like, literally nothing. And I say nothing times nothing. And I just want to know where these people at right now. They said I was cupcaking with a nigga behind the scenes. Ooh, I wanted him. Where y'all at? Because I really think out of all the people that person was talking to, that I was the least of them. I was the motherfucking least of them. So no, it's just so ironic to me that people was trying to say that it was me. No, it wasn't never fucking me. It was never me. I'm just the type of person, maybe I just be too like blunt, you know, like you know what I mean. Like I said, ain't, y'all, there ain't nothing that is going on behind, you know what I'm saying, that y'all don't know about. No. Um. All right. All right. Yeah. See, this is the thing, Auntie. You don't know what you're talking about. Um, and I know what you're talking about, the whole skit thing, but that's only part of it. So that's not even where it started. So it's just like I'm not sure why. Like, so how long was I up there talking about the skit or what was going on or what was said during that skit? You know that's not what the fuck I was up there talking about. So it's like when you trying to talk about stuff but you don't know what you're talking about, it it looks stupid because you just came in when you came in. You don't know, like you don't know. You're just talking. Okay, so um yeah, Big J did a hit piece on me. Brownie claims she ain't do a hit piece on me. I still ain't watched Brownie video. I don't think I'm gonna watch it. I had to leave. I was in there, but I had to go. I was like, no, because I said I was gonna disengage from that, and that's what I did. That's what I'm saying. That's what I did. People was saying that I wasn't gonna stop. People were saying that I wasn't gonna disengage. No, I disengaged from it because I saw that people wasn't interested in the truth. They weren't. Money is a corrupting factor. Um, I'm never about to. Okay, let me just keep moving. Um, so yeah, like I said, I'm done pretty much. But I said, I'm saying that the lesson that I learned, and hopefully the lesson other people learn, and then the lesson that somebody else is gonna learn in the future, unfortunately, is to stop giving niggas the benefit of the doubt. Stop giving niggas the benefit of the doubt. Stop feeling sorry for these niggas. I promise you, they was not raised. I ain't say you wasn't telling the truth, Brownie. No, I ain't say that. But yeah, just because you was raised to have like compassion and empathy and trust, that's not where these niggas come from. You got to understand that. And they got people that I'm not saying, yeah, of course there are guys that are somewhat decent. I mean, it's not really that many of them, but at the same time, you just can't like. This is the sad part, y'all. This is the sad part. I was listening to Tiff today in her live, and I one thing I did pick up on and I noticed is like this person is going around taking advantage of women's innocence. You know what I mean? That's what is going on. Like he not encountering women that meant him any harm or women that wanted to do anything to him. You know what I mean? He encountered women that gave him a chance, you know what I mean, and treated him like a person and that cared for him. That's the kind of women that he encountered. But he's going around taking advantage of the kindness and innocence of women and acting like that make him somebody. That don't make like that don't make you nobody. You know what I mean? That's kind of like stealing candy from a baby. It's like that's all you can do. That's all you can do. Once again, if this nigga, I'm gonna ask you not to respond, and that ain't no reverse psychology. I mean that, but if you do respond, I'm not gonna respond to it. I'm not gonna know about it. I'm just not entertaining it, because I ain't say nothing about you. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say anything that nobody didn't know. Yeah, but stop feeling sorry for these niggas. Stop believing that they have any type of shred of humanity within them. Stop thinking that if you just treat them nice or treat them like a human being, that they're gonna fucking, you know what I mean, recognize the humanity in you and treat you like a damn person. Stop acting like you could treat everybody like a damn person. That's where that saying comes from. The leopards ate my face. You thought the leopard was your fucking friend. It was never your friend. It was a leopard the whole damn time. So you can. All right. So stop believing they have humanity. Like some people really are just an empty shell, and that's sad to think. That's sad to think because the thing is like, being a person, and especially like as far as black men, y'all know I talk a lot of shit about black men, but at the same goddamn time, it's like I might talk shit about black men, but it's like it's hard to explain. Like it's hard to explain, but Um, my point is like sometimes your either your nature as a black woman, you must be behind in the chat. You must be behind, Auntie, but either your nature as a black woman or just your sense of compassion will have you like feeling sorry for these niggas, or not even just necessarily feeling sorry for it, because I'm not saying feeling sorry as in like I'm saying this person is just so pathetic, and I said that before. But my point is, it'll have you looking at a person like they really a person. And I'm telling you, it's not. It's a fucking snake. It's a leopard. It's a hyena. It's whatever. As a matter of fact, I asked ChatGPT to make the thumbnail, and at first it made a lion. I said, no, change the lion to a hyena. You know what I mean? Because we not, no nigga, you ain't no lion, bro. It's like we not gonna do that. I don't want to give you the wrong motherfucking impression. Just a mangy ass wild fucking animal uh that feeds on trash, and shit that other people leave behind, and I don't mean nothing specific by that. I'm just saying, like, hopefully, my point is, I don't nobody need to take nothing from what I said from that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I don't know. Do you still want me to drop the link? I'm not gonna. And let me tell you one thing. I'm not gonna sit up here and be talking shit about nobody. You know what I mean? So that's not what this is for at all. Like me, as far as me dropping a link, I'm not dropping a link so that we could, have a powwow about anybody. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, if anybody got something that they want to say to me, nobody has to hit the link. It's up to y'all. Let me see. Is this right? Yeah. But I just felt like I had to really, this whole video is like it's just me talking to the people that tried to make it seem like, one, I was fucking crazy or something. Number two, like I wanted this nigga or something, in any type of serious way, or you know what I mean? That's who the fuck this is for. I want to know what y'all got to say now. What do y'all got to fucking say now? Do we have a long enough trail of tears over the years involving enough fucking women of various demographics and age ranges? Yeah, my feelings was hurt because like I said, I thought he was my friend, but I'm starting to think it was like, I talked to somebody about this today. Now I saw him post in somebody chat, and they put it on the screen. I forgot because I don't see the nigga unless somebody put it on the screen. But he said women like to see other women being hurt. And so I'm like, okay, so is that what's going on? Because like there was a comment that I had made that I forgot it as soon as I fucking made the comment, but he dragged it out into the forefront and tried to use that like as a reason to attack me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, me and him never had no problem. So it's like, why he doing all that? And then somebody else, like I said, told me that he said something hurtful to her. Like, but just it, I don't know. So I don't know if the nigga think he's stunting by disrespecting other women in front of like the person that he's with. Or I don't know, maybe that's a turn on to that person. I can't imagine being impressed with a man acting like that. But hey, maybe it's feeding somebody's ego or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I was hurt. Because like I said, I just felt like I never done anything to him. And that whole story about me talking down on trucking, that's kind of an example of what I say when I say that a person like could really like not give a fuck about you at all, like, or they trying to hurt you because they trying to get other people to see you in a certain type of way, like as a bad person based on something that you never said or did. So all right, so nobody hit the link yet, y'all. So let me just look through the comments and see if I missed anything. Yeah. I never seen Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Okay, Auntie coming up. What's up, man?
What's up? Nah, I was behind a little bit,
Yeah.
and I mean, look, that's why I laid off it. Once I was done with it, But now that I'm hearing that your feelings were genuinely hurt, I am sorry to hear that. I really am. Because I know this space be different to different people. Um, And yeah, on some real shit, like it's a space full of trolls. So whatever, if y'all had a few conversations behind the scenes or you had a lot, that's between y'all. You don't have to tell me. But as far as everybody else, like when we hear stuff, we just hear what we hear on the panels,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
We hear, yeah, we hear what we hear on the panels. So people just gonna fuck with you, like they don't really care. So I get it though. So my bad if I went a little hard on you.
Well, I mean, I feel like you sold me out, but we ain't even got to have that conversation. But no, when I said my feelings was hurt, I'm talking about as far as like what he did, you know. And I mean, I ain't gonna say other people. There was some other people that hurt my feelings for sure. I ain't gonna call this person name no more because she keeps saying she wasn't dragging me, but she hurt my motherfucking feelings. But we ain't gonna worry about that. But yeah, there was some people that hurt my feelings for sure. But no, I'm talking about the fact that like I don't have to come up here and lie about like whatever was going on because it wasn't shit going on, you know. But I mean, if you consider somebody to be your friend and they don't, you know, and they treat you in a fucked up way, and you consider you continually trying to give them the benefit of the doubt until you can't no more, you say, well, yeah, this nigga really hate me. You know what I mean? That's how it was for me, and that's why I appreciate when Brownie was saying on her stream. I forgot exactly the words that she used, but she said that when she's get a inkling that somebody is trying to play with her, then she will move around, you know what I mean? But I said I'm the type of person, I will give somebody too many opportunities just to make sure that they playing with me, and then once I see you playing with me, okay, you done just disrespecting me enough, then I will move around. But I need to start moving around when I first see that something is not right, you know. And you know, you save yourself a lot of aggravation, heartache, things of that nature. Yeah. So yeah, but I don't need to, you know, I ain't never, it's nothing, you know, that's what I'm saying. It's nothing. And just the whole, like I said, if my feelings was hurt over somebody that I barely even like, you know, I ain't talked to like that for real. You know what I mean? I ain't talked to him like that. But I guess it was just the idea. Like, but then again, y'all, I'm gonna say this shit, right? I'm gonna say this. And I told this to somebody recently. You know, I kept wondering like what did I do? Like why, you know what I mean? What did I do? But I think that, and I'm just being real vulnerable right now, but I'm just going to keep it 100 with y'all. Some people really, and I'm not no type of psychologist, nothing, but I think some people really are like sick. And I compared this person to Ted Bundy because when you think about it, right? Like Ted Bundy can go out and be nice and be charming. Everybody was saying he was, you know, charming or whatever the case may be. Not saying anybody saying that this person is a perfect gentleman, but what I'm saying is they have a side of them where they have to hurt people. They have to get it out. So
That's where I gotta stop you. Ted
okay, so let's
Bundy
go
was a
there.
necrophiliac. Like he
That's,
was
yeah, but that's
he
not the
was
point.
real nice, and then he bust chicks in the head
Yeah, but
with
that's
big
not the point.
rocks, and and
That's not
and
the point.
then did some nasty stuff with their bodies
This is the
afterwards.
point.
Like
This is
that's
the point.
yeah.
This is the point. A person can always go around acting like they a good person, but if that person don't get that outlet to be who they really are, you know what I mean, to be the demon that they really are, to be the fucking animal that they really are, then they wouldn't be able to go out and do whatever quote unquote good things that they doing. So yeah, Ted Bundy was only able to put up that face because he was doing the shit that he was doing in the background. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying some people, they can't just be nice. You know what I mean? They don't, it's taking something from them to actually be a good person, or fake like they being a good person. So therefore they got to have an outlet, you know, for all this demonic energy and all this hatred, you know, that they have inside of them. So that's my latest theory on this nigga. That's what I think. I don't know, I could be wrong. Like I said, I ain't say this person name. They ain't gotta say shit to me. I don't have a problem with this person. We, you know, we done. We done closed the book on it. You know, I learned my lesson. I'm carrying it forward. Hopefully other people will do the same, you know. So but that's
I,
pretty much it.
I did want to ask you about this though,
What?
because I think you might want to own up to this, right? Because
Okay, go
you
ahead.
mentioned the whole male identified thing. I don't remember
Yeah.
anybody calling you male identified, but I do remember you calling Tay Tay male identified on her panel that day.
So this is what I
And that kind
recall.
of changed the dynamics of that
You
conversation
know
a little
what? I
bit.
don't. I don't give. I don't. Don't make me. But I don't remember calling her male identified specifically. I remember calling a group of people male identified, and the reason why I did call them male identified was because I sat up there and talked for 5 minutes about what the situation was really about. And then somebody said, I'm not gonna say this person's name, she said, can I ask you a question? Are you sure, that maybe there might have been some like feelings that you had that weren't reciprocated? And I'm like, what the fuck is we like? That's what make the shit so funny. That's why I'm making this video today, right now, because literally nothing. It was nothing going on, nothing. And it's like, where the fuck is these people getting this shit from? They just making shit up. I'm saying, like, probably every other female in the space, he had more going on with them than with me. But it's like, I can't even speak about what the situation is without being a bitter bitch or without being mad because I wanted somebody. It's like, just stop. To me, that is male identified. And then the other person that you mentioned, I ain't gonna say her name, but she said that how you gonna get mad at me because he didn't tell you that you didn't know he was talking to other women? What the fuck are you talking about? I could give a fuck who he's talking to. There was never a question of who this person is talking to. And the funny part was he knew that. He probably sitting there listening to the shit. He knew it wasn't never like that. So what you mean I didn't know who he was talking to? I didn't know he was talking to other women. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not worried about who no nigga talking to. Like, stop. That was ridiculous. And it was known that he was talking to every fucking body, whether it was like that with some of them or not. It wasn't never like that with me. So it's like, but somebody, I'm just saying, like, for you to get knocked, just imagine you getting knocked off the panel and then somebody be like, don't get mad at me because you ain't know what he was talking to. Man, stop playing with me, man.
I get that, but okay. So even and remember we on the panels, but even when somebody says something like feelings, which is kind of like just a synonym for emotions, so it's a broad word. That's where I'm getting
Yeah,
at there.
yeah.
So I get where you're thinking about it. Like, okay, when people saying you have feelings, it's like, damn, you trying to say I'm in love with this nigga and all of that. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that. Like feelings, emotions, it, feeling that jealousy is an emotion, envy is emotion, happiness is emotion, sadness is an emotion, empathy is an emotion that can have a lot of other emotions in it. Entitlement is an emotion. You know, like there are a lot of different emotions, and people, you know what I'm saying, like you only human to have feelings. So if you felt like it, just like you said, don't feel sorry for these niggas. Maybe even if you just had some feelings of empathy for somebody that you knew was, going through things, or you felt like you could relate to them, and then you might have felt like those weren't reciprocated. I'm not saying that's the case, but when that was posed at you, I think it was more along those lines. It didn't necessarily have to mean I'm in love with this nigga and
No,
shit
that's
like
what
that.
people
Cause you ain't even. I mean, I get it. Y'all. I'm assuming y'all ain't never meet or nothing
hell
like
no.
that. So if you say you ain't in love, or you don't like them like that, but you can still have emotions and feelings for somebody that you consider a friend.
I mean, yeah, I mean, because the thing is, if you look at somebody as your friend, you're gonna take up for them, right? You will hope they will do the same for you. But like Brownie said, I need to stop fucking taking up for people, because
Well, I
somebody else
mean,
anyway.
but I mean, does that mean? So I'm just saying, it might be a little bit of truth to that. Like you felt like you were being truthful, honest, or maybe even just empathetic to somebody going through things, and
Yeah.
then they weren't. They didn't feel the same way back. That's
No,
not
it's not
you
even. I
having
mean,
a
I hear what you're
feeling or an
saying.
emotion that's not
I don't.
being reciprocated. I'm
I
just
hear.
saying you don't have to go with everybody else. 'Cause I don't.
I hear what you're saying, but it
Yeah.
was more than that. It was more than that because, and like, I don't want to get into it. When I say get into it, I'm not talking about revealing anything that people don't already know. I'm just saying I really kind of don't want to get into all that because everybody already know. You know what I mean? But it was more than that because it's like I said, I'm trying. Um, my thing is like if a person sometimes you can do things intentionally to hurt people, you know what I mean? Because the thing is, if you don't care about somebody, you're not gonna do nothing intentionally to hurt them. You see what I'm saying? But it's like when you going out your way to do shit to hurt somebody, it's not like, okay, well, that's just a random person on the street, you know what I mean? It was just like I didn't get it. So yeah, but I'm not trying to fucking get it, I'm not trying to get it. I don't think, like I said, I'm not no type of um psychologist or nothing, but I just don't think that person ever gonna change. That person don't feel a need to change. That person is not a good person. But I mean, it's whatever. You know what I mean? It's whatever. Like I said, I learned my lesson. Don't feed the animals. That's pretty much it. And I'm not trying to say, oh, it's an animal, but I'm just making a analogy. You know what I mean? Because I'm just what I'm referring to is the fact that like people was already saying shit about this person. You know what I mean? That was already out there. Like whatever people were saying about, how this person has acted in the past or what type of person that he is. But if you want to put your fucking hands through the bars and pet the hyena, then if you get bit, then it's like, okay, well, shit. Go home and bandage that shit up. We'll take your antibiotics and, move on with life. You know what I mean? So
I
yeah,
mean,
but
I think people understand that though. Like, look, somebody else's interactions with a person don't necessarily have to be your interactions with that person.
yeah, but
So
I hear what you saying though, but there's a difference between being a good person and not being a good person. So I like I said, I never think that he was a bad person. You know what I mean? But I think, and this is another thing, let me say this. And so to the person that I'm kind of gonna refer to right now, I don't want her to think I'm trying to like I'm not trying to like I don't feel no type of way about it. You know what I mean? Like I don't, because I just feel like shit gonna happen how it happened. But like I could say a couple of things. I remember like Brownie recently on your panel, and you're not the person I was about to talk about, but you said something about how if somebody fuck with somebody that don't fuck with me, then I mean, yeah, or that fucks with me, then you don't really fuck with me or something like that. But I said the thing is everybody fucking with somebody that's fucking with somebody. So it's like would never get mad at who somebody friends with or where they go or nothing like that. But I did kind of feel, and this don't have nothing to do with her because this wasn't who I was gonna bring up initially, but in a way I kind of did feel like, okay, like I know they see how this nigga did me, like, and I'm not talking about you specifically. And then another person, actually the person who I was talking about, was more caught up on the skit aspect of it. I wasn't worrying about the skit aspect of it. It was just the whole idea to be like in general, because it's like, I'm like, y'all was there, y'all know how this nigga did me. So it's like, what, how you all right, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. Because if I would have seen a nigga do somebody like that, then that would have been enough for me. You know what I mean? But then again, you know, I ain't even going. I'm gonna stop right there.
but
That would have been enough for me.
let me ask you though.
Yeah,
Now I gotta ask you, like, okay, so when you say, are you talking about how you were done?
yeah, yeah.
So like, if you had to just summarize it in like maybe, I don't know, 2 3 sentences, maybe a short paragraph, um how would you say you were done wrong?
I feel like I don't really want to, get into all that, but I'm gonna just say briefly, like, um, I think that I um was a friend to a person. I didn't care like what anybody thought, you know what I mean, as far as how they looked at me based on me being associated with the person. But I feel like the person like switched up, you know what I mean? Like, and like I said, I don't think it was anything that I did. I do think it's fucked up that the person was trying to say it was something that I did or said when he know good and goddamn well that wasn't true. Because number one, you gaslighting me. Number two, you're trying to make me look bad in front of other people. Like you're trying to hurt my reputation by acting like I said something that I never said. Um, all to just cover up the fact that you just get some kind of kick out of hurting people. You know what I mean? So yeah. Basically, like, yeah, after this person switched up and act like I never existed, you know what I mean? And then I didn't realize the person was trying to, I mean, I guess I knew the person was trying to get my attention, but like I said, you're never going to get my attention by ignoring me, because I'm not programmed like that. I know that somebody else in the space been acting up lately because they've been being ignored. Yeah, I would never fucking act up because you ignore me. We will be ignoring each other together. But as far as like just the lies and shit, I got to get over like how I react when somebody lying on me. I don't like that shit. You know what I mean? I don't like that shit. And that's kind of like how I got pulled into that situation that never needed to happen. All that should have happened was that shit should have faded to nothing and, just been ignored, and that would have been the end of it. Um, because I don't have a fucking problem with people switching up on me. That's just, I mean, that's what people do. That's what people do. It ain't no problem. It ain't nothing for us to argue about. That
Oh,
wasn't the issue.
damn, you done lost your faith in people?
No, I'm saying that's
Is
how
that
people
bad?
is. Nigga, you switched up. What are you talking about? You switched up. What you talking about? That's
Look,
just how people are. That's why I say, yeah, like I was telling somebody else on the phone, like I don't hold nothing against nobody for real. Like unless I really just decide to put you in that category and you were in that category. But I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not sitting up here thinking, oh, this person did this person did that. Because people gonna be people. I'm not perfect, you know what I mean? I try to be honorable, I try not to hurt nobody, but
well,
I'm not
you're
fucking
in a
perfect
space
people.
full of trolls, though.
Yeah.
Choco. But at the same time, this is one of the reasons like people think I'm like I'll go all the way in, like I'll go there, and I can, but when I see somebody is kind of like is emotionally affected, like I don't be wanting people's nervous breakdowns and shit on my conscience, man. So that's one of the reasons why more often than not I just lay off. I might do one stream, I might just say a couple things on a panel, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying, then I'll be done.
but y'all still
Um,
really had to like gas that, like y'all really had to like pump that shit up. So I don't know if it was because
But
y'all.
I would say even if you lost your faith in me or you lost your faith in people in this space, don't lose your faith in people.
No, I
You know,
mean that's
because
what I'm saying. I already didn't have faith in people. That's why I don't take it no kind of way.
you're
Like
right.
I
Like
said,
we there's a lot of mentally disturbed motherfuckers in this space, and I'm gonna keep it real. I'll clip this. I'm one of them. You know, I ain't wrapped too tight, and I'll be the first to, and I know that. You know, I tell them I'm like most people need protection from their demons. My demons protect me. So
heard
leave
that.
me alone. But at the same time, it's a big world out there. And if you always think, or you got to hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. But if you always see the worst in everything, it's going to be tough
I don't
to
always see the
get
worst in
good
everything.
situations.
I don't always see the
Yeah.
worst in everything. And if I did, then I would have been behaving a whole lot differently just during that whole situation. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but I just, and I'm not trying to, and that's the thing. I hate, I don't want to make it seem like I'm some type of martyr or not, you know what I mean? Because that's bullshit. Like, this is YouTube. But I'm saying, like, I do what I feel is right. You know what I mean? That don't mean I don't make mistakes. But I mean, if I did something, if I did it because I felt that it was right. If I said it, I meant it. You know, period. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I mean, because look, what I know about you from just the chat and the panels, because I don't know you personally. I just know what I see, and I can kind of detect patterns. And after X amount of time, all these years, what seeing you around probably about 4 or 5 years now, I have. So I think it's enough of a sample size, but I could be wrong. I'm not always right. I mean, I see that you're opinionated. Um, yeah, you're opinionated. You kind of you wear your heart on your sleeve, but I don't think you're a mean or devious person or anything like that. Some of these people are just mean, devious, and want to fuck with people.
And
I
that's what I'm
think
saying.
yeah,
Like, people can't help themselves. Like, and that's why I say, like, to a certain extent, I still have compassion for this person. I mean, I'm not saying I got a soft spot, but what I'm saying is, like, in one breath I could say, fuck you. I don't give a fuck if you die in your sleep. Like, and I could be telling the truth, right? But at the same time, I still gotta understand it. Like, and once again, I'm not trying to make myself seem better than nobody at all. But I'm just saying, people, everybody been through different stuff. Everybody been raised differently. I can't compare myself to somebody that, like, I just, everybody got a different story. So I am the way I am, meaning that my all my faults, all my shortcomings and all my, good qualities, that's because of, like, how I came up. So I feel like my mama imparted some good stuff in me. She imparted some bad stuff in me. That's just how it is. So it's like, you could only I just feel like you could really only blame a person to a certain extent for how they are. You know what I mean? So it don't mean that they don't choose to be that way, but what I'm saying is, what makes you want to be that way? Like, what's appealing about that? So
well, you said you don't want to be. You're not a psychologist,
no, I'm
so
not.
you know
Not.
it's really not your concern, is it?
No, it's not.
You know.
It's not. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm looking at it like the wrong way. Maybe I'm not looking at it the right way. Because
So
I
that's what I
mean,
mean. It's okay to admit that not only did you care, but you still kind of care a little
no,
bit.
it's not that I care. No, I don't. I'm talking about the same. I'm talking about him the same way I talk about anybody else. Like even somebody that I don't know.
Mhm.
But no, I don't care.
I mean,
I'm just saying I'm acknowledging that I'm not trying to act like I'm fundamentally better than somebody else because I'm just saying that we all have a different story. And like I said, with people going at the end of the day, people going to judge you based on your behavior. People going to judge you based on how you present yourself. But at the end of the day, you represent where you come from. You represent your family. You represent your mother and your father. So, you know, but do you see what I'm saying? You see what I don't know. I feel like I'm not making
no, I
myself.
mean, I know. I mean, a lot of people, especially people in
What
these
this what I'm
spaces, but
saying.
just in general, people
This
are
what
going
I'm
to
saying.
judge.
I don't
So,
believe I'm like I don't really believe in free will is what I'm saying. I do to a certain extent, but at the same time I still believe in like nature and nurture and all that kind of stuff. But that's getting into a philosophical side of things. That's not really for this conversation. But like I said, that's why I had compassion in the first place because um I just like I said, I really don't want to go here because I'm not trying to talk about that. But
mm,
what I'm saying is for a certain set of events to be set in motion, it already got to have a certain background and a certain setup and stuff like that. And and like I said, I'm because it may sound like I'm being shady, especially like to a person that is always looking for the negative. But I'm just I'm gonna just say this. I'm not even gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing.
well, when you say like, okay, so you believe in nature,
Yeah,
nurture, all of those things. So if you believe in nature, I'm assuming you would believe in evolution,
yeah.
as it correlates to adaptation, right?
I mean, yeah, all that good stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. So for the most part, you know, a human being, or in your case, a black woman, because I know that's what you would want to say, is going to like, after, if you've been through enough things, or you're gonna find a way to adapt to your surroundings,
yeah.
right? Yeah. So if you go through enough fucked up shit, and bad shit, toxicity, emotional pain, trauma, all of those things, eventually, you know what I'm saying, your body, your brain, your heart, all of those things are going to develop some kind of defense mechanism for it, or way to adapt to it if it
I
becomes
mean,
common in life, if it becomes like normal in life.
I kind of hear what you're saying, but I mean, I don't think that's an issue, because like I said, I just said don't feed the animals. So I mean, like you could see the animal, you can see that it got, whatever good qualities it has. You can see, oh, it's cool or whatever like that. That don't mean you got to stick your hands through the bars. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you stick your hand through the bars, you're gonna get bit. If you go all the way over there, you're gonna get fucking mangled. You know what I mean? I just got my hand bit. I might have lost like a tip of my finger or some shit like that. Some people got their throat torn out. Some of these motherfuckers not gonna make it back. So I'm just being metaphorical. But yeah, I'm just saying like that's why I would. Girl,
Well, if you remember the stream that I did, if you remember the thumbnail and the title, I was like, I compared you to like Princess. You had like what I call Princess Jasmine syndrome.
okay, what that mean?
Like, you wanted a pet tiger.
No,
You thought you could have a pet tiger.
no.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Just chilling around you. And then, hey, you said, hey, you put your hand in the cage or whatever. Now you're gonna get bit. So you realizing that
Well, yeah, but I mean, at
tigers
the
and
time, I
lions
didn't.
eat people. They'll
Yeah, but
eat
at the this what I'm saying though. At the time, I didn't feel like okay, that's an animal. I didn't feel like that. I felt like yeah, okay, that's a person. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. Like sometimes you just gotta take shit for what it is.
you.
You can't always just be like making excuses for people. Like oh well, we've been through this, and you know what I mean. Sometimes it's not even to say okay, and I don't think this person is a good person, but what I'm saying is it ain't got nothing to do with it. And I know I called this person the bad seed, but I'm not even saying okay, you the bad seed. What I'm saying is sometimes you just beyond help. Like I can't do nothing for you. I can't do nothing with you. And me trying to do something, not saying anybody's any type of charity case or anything like that, but whatever I'm trying to do, whether it's be friends or whatever, it's not going to end well. So that's what people will have to learn. And it, that's not really making a comment on who you are as a person, as far as like, whatever. Because like I said, nobody has control over how they came up and stuff. But anyway, I don't like this line of conversation because it seemed like I'm trying to like humanize a nigga, and that's not the point of this live stream. That's not the
Well,
point of this
it
live stream.
might seem like that, but I mean,
Wait a second,
okay.
one.
So what up, Sin? What I would say, it really doesn't sound like that because look, I mean, we all been in this space long enough, so we know we know Root.
Why
I
you
guess you
say
don't want
that
to say
nigga
his name.
name?
I'm sorry. We know him. You know him. Everybody know him at this point. So whatever. I think you're more so humanizing yourself. And what I'm trying to get at with you is it's okay to be human.
Yeah, that's true. And I think
And
I
I think that's what those ladies were trying to tell you that day. Like, yo, it's okay to be human. Like if you had some feelings or some emotions or just a few vulnerable moments with somebody or
not for
whatever, and
no.
it don't mean that you was in love. It don't mean that you wanted to get married and have
No,
babies and all of that
no,
other stuff.
no.
It just means that hey, it could have been feelings of empathy, could have been feelings of
Well,
entitlement.
yeah, I
You know,
mean, not
it
even.
could have been
Why you saying
yeah.
entitlement? You funny.
No, well,
I see. I know where you going with
but
this.
yeah, I'm just saying, like emotion. That's a big blanket. Like there are a lot of emotions that are part of human nature. You
Yeah,
know,
no, that's what I'm saying. But it's no different. I mean, no different with him than it is with
like
anybody else.
I can go into it, like because I know me personally. I have to check myself consistently, and this was years ago that I had to realize that. Look, that's just that. I mean, I'm human, so there are
Yeah,
going to
but
be
I mean,
times when I feel envious. There are going to be times when I feel jealous. There are going to be times when I feel entitled. There are going to be times when I do, I feel all of those things. But if I could recognize it, then I can kind of check myself and make sure that it doesn't affect how I move. I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm not even saying that I always handle it perfectly. I just try to be aware of my triggers and
yeah,
when I'm feeling that stuff, so that way stuff don't spiral out of hand. Because
yeah.
you can make mistakes that can like I said
That's
they
what
can
I'm saying.
spiral, and next thing you
No, but
know you feel you either do something that lasts for a long time. You end up letting something go out of control and snowball into something that's kind of tough to clean up, or you can end up feeling a certain type of way for X amount of days and months, and you can end up taking that into another relationship with family members, friends, co-workers, whatever the case may be. So I try, but you are human, and it's okay to
yeah,
feel
but
those
whatever I
emotions.
said about that person is the same as with anybody else. That's like I wouldn't expected you to do what you did to me, but you did it. So I mean, don't try to make it seem like it's all about him. No, I just
I'm
feel
not. I'm
like
telling you, it's about you.
yeah,
That's
so
why
I
we
just feel
here.
like I
We
just
here. I'm talking to you.
yeah, I just try to treat people how how I would want to be treated. That's it. That's all. You
Yeah.
know, that's it.
But if you don't want it to be made about him, then let's make it about you.
Yeah, well,
That's my point right there. And I'm
one
I'm
good
just
thing I
saying,
can
for first
say,
and foremost, let's because you said it yourself, your feelings were hurt because you're
yeah,
human. You got feelings. You're allowed
but
to
guess
have
what?
hurt feelings.
That's it. That's all. That's
And
all.
and that's why I just wanted to come up here and tell you. I know it might have seemed like people was piling up on you,
Oh, it
and
was
and
definitely piling up on me. Oh yeah, for
oh,
sure.
okay, I'm not even gonna argue with you. I'm not even gonna argue with you on that because I really can't. You're not wrong. Now the reason why some people argue with you is because we've seen worse piles. We've seen worse. But yeah, you did kind of get piled on. You know, which was really just a consensus of people kind of being in agreement with each other about how we assess the situation. But at the same time, we can become numb to somebody else's emotions just because of what we see in front of us, and emotions can cloud your judgment. So you might not see what's actually there or the same thing that we see because you got emotions kind of
I mean, I
in
could
there.
agree with that. I mean, sure. I'm
you
not
know
really like I said. I don't give it too
Well,
much.
I just wanted you to know that, like, hey, my bad. Your feelings were genuinely hurt. If it seemed, well,
It's fine.
I did seem like niggas was piling up on you. You know, my bad. I know I did stop. I ain't let it keep going, but probably took it a little too far right there. So my bad. You know.
You don't try to, because you came for me
No,
again.
I will not. I will not apologize
No, yeah, don't,
to
because you
many
came for
people
me
at
again
all.
recently. You came for me again recently, talking about I ain't got no man. And that's
When did I say that?
you
How
said
long? Recently, like what? A couple months
yeah,
ago?
like a couple of months ago.
Come
Yeah,
on, they calling that recent, man. Come on,
yeah, it's recent.
man.
Yeah,
A couple months is like
thank you.
3 years on YouTube. What you talking about?
Okay, all right. Yeah, but
That ain't fair. I'm just saying. I mean, I'll lay off, but maybe I did take it too far because, like I said, we can be in especially in these spaces, we can be numb to the emotions of others because like I say, it's a space full of trolls. So we be thinking everybody a troll just like us. We a lot of people we forget that you're dealing with human beings and. You know what I'm saying? You kind of wear you wear your heart on your sleeve, you wear your emotions on your sleeve. And to be honest, the main reason why you got you got my empathy and my apology, my sincere apology, for that is because you like I should have known. Like you've never had a pattern of fucking with people.
oh no, I don't fuck with nobody.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Like you've never had a problem, like a pattern of fucking with people. You might say some little slick shit in the chat, but for the most part, you either be serious or just be something quick, whatever. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But I've never seen you join in on dog piles on
yeah. Oh
people,
no, I don't do that.
or you know what I'm saying, or just come up fuck with people, troll people, or nothing like that. So you know that's my I should have probably been a little bit more aware of that and it's just been a little more empathetic towards you, you know,
It's all good. Like I said, it's
because some people deserve
it
like
needed to
most people in these spaces deserve worse energy than that, but you didn't even deserve that. So I give you that.
Yeah, but guess what? It needed to happen because it'll prevent it from happening in the future. So next time I see a nigga that might have a little bit of charisma, you know what I mean? The nigga might have a little swag. You done heard this nigga is a terrible person. You see people beating up on a nigga, you like, wait, no, hold on, he a cool person. No, 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 no. He a grown ass man. He can handle it. Just keep going. That's not for me to do. I ain't got to get my hands dirty. You know what I mean? Fighting with people for people that don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like no, just now I know. Next time, just keep walking. That's all I know. You know.
Well, I thought about it and even some dealings you might have had because a lot of stuff has gone on in the last few years, on that other end, and you were probably privy to some other conversations and just what somebody was going through. So I can understand why you can be, empathetic, in a situation like that. So I mean, most people will tell you like, "Damn, why? Like you shouldn't even be feeling like this to the point where you kind of letting it out on the panels and everything else."
No,
They'll tell.
the
Well,
thing is,
I'm
I
just
don't like nobody like lying on me. Like I need to get over that, but that's my thing. Like I don't like that shit. You
Well, I'm
know.
just saying, people will tell you that, but most people, of course, they're not going to be able to see it from your perspective because they don't have like they're not looking at things from behind your eyes. So like, or listening with your ears.
Right.
So you know, I get it. You know what I'm saying? We kind of get caught up and we think everybody's got the thick skin we got. You know,
Hmm.
and that's not the case. That's not the case. But I do think that those ladies when they was talking to you, they was just trying to kind of give you some healthy advice. I think they
Yeah.
were trying to. It might not have came out like that at the time or felt like that at the time, but I do think they were just trying they weren't trying to pile on you or hurt you or any of that stuff.
Yeah, no, I didn't say that. As far as them, no, no. But I mean, some of them were, but but no, for the most part, no. Yeah, but I mean, I don't really have too much more to say about this. Once again, this video is for the naysayers, the ones who said that I was doing too, which I was, I was. I should have just ignored it. But
So you admitting that. You
yeah,
admitting that.
The
Okay.
ones who said I was in love, you still ain't see no evidence of me being in love.
Well,
Nobody even really tried. That's the crazy part. It's like, man, anyway,
if you ask 100 people
but
what
he
the
said that and
definition
told
of,
y'all he was lying though. That's why I gotta give him credit though.
well,
He would tell a
I'm
bunch of
just saying.
lies, then he'll be like, I'm lying like a motherfucker. But it's like people was acting like this.
Well, here's what most of those people were saying. All right, so let's go back in time because I remember this. I got a
All
good
right.
memory. They weren't saying that he's telling the truth. They were just saying, nobody be listening to him. Like, I guess that's what everybody was saying.
Yeah.
So, and I get where you're coming from. It's like, but damn, y'all ain't even questioning about it. It's like, it don't even make sense because it's like, hey, nobody listening to all that. Like, that's
Yeah.
what I remember people telling you. Like, everybody was pretty much in consensus with that. Like, come on. Like, if
Yeah.
ain't nobody else up here taking what he's saying seriously, why are you?
Yeah. I'm over it. Yeah, I'm over it. And like I said, this is more like a I told you so. Not for anybody that been hurt. It ain't an I told you so for that. It's an I told you so for everybody who said I was fucking crazy. Everybody say whoever said I was a stalker or a bunny boiler. That was some real
I
bull.
said that. I
Oh,
said that.
was that you?
Yeah, no, that was
Somebody
me.
said,
I said you
and
was a
you know
bunny
what pissed me
boiler.
off?
You was a bacon burner.
What
A
pissed me
bacon
off,
burner,
man?
bunny boiler.
But it's just like people be doing too much. Because I was listening to that live BJ did. And I'm like, these motherfuckers. Why
But
are
come
people up
on.
here acting like they know me? I'm like, this girl don't know nothing
But
about
come
me.
on.
Like, she just up here just talking, bro. Just
You
talking about
gotta be able to laugh at
oh,
yourself too, though.
hey,
Come
talking
on,
about some oh,
Choco
she
Kitty.
can't find self-worth and self-esteem within herself. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't know me, you don't know nothing happened. You don't like you don't know shit about me. You just up here talking. That's the type of shit that pissed me off. And I almost reacted to that. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just let sleeping dogs lie. I'm not gonna fucking do it. Cause it's like, and then somebody else did that. Somebody named Rain and Woman. Yeah, actually, you had her on your panel. I'm like, she talking all this
Yeah.
shit, and I went up there, and that's why I didn't even address her when I went up there. I'm like, you just talking. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know me. You don't know the situation. You up here saying dumb shit. Every time I correct you, then you pivot to something else. I'm not about to argue with you over something you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. People, y'all troll the fuck out of me, man. That's all I can say. Y'all troll.
Yeah, yes and no. All right, so it seems like trolling, and it is to a degree, but you do understand how this works, right? It's okay. So once things come out in the public, even if it's just bits and pieces, people just gonna fill out. They're gonna
Yes.
fill in the
Fill in
blanks.
the blanks. Yes. And I'm telling you, there was no fucking blank. Well, the blanks was just that. There was fucking blanks. There was nothing
Well,
there.
I'm just saying, people gonna feel like once things become public, that's it. The public's gonna scrutinize, and they're gonna fill in the blanks. And then you can come up there and tell people exactly how you feel or how you think you
Oh,
feel,
yeah,
or
exactly
which
what
what you
happened.
know, and people gonna tell you, "Hey, I don't believe you."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's kind of the game.
But you know what? That's why I say this is male identification, because it's the thing. Like, at a certain point, if you could just sit back and let a bunch of male identified broads do your work for you, then that's how you know that this space is male identified. Because it's like, I don't like it. There was a certain point where I feel like this person just kind of sat back and then just let hoes keep stirring the pot. You know what I mean? So yeah. But I don't even want to continue talking about this. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. Just because
Okay.
it's like I feel like I'm giving it too much attention.
No,
Anyway, I just want
I'll
to say,
let you get your final thoughts out.
yeah, no,
Um,
go ahead, go ahead.
but nah, I was just gonna say, hey, if your feelings was hurt, genuinely hurt, which you say that they are, so hey, I believe you. Um, my bad for rubbing
You
it
know
in.
what you was doing, nigga. You know what you was doing. How
No, I
about
mean the situation didn't concern me, so that's one of them things that hey, it ain't it ain't, like I don't it don't make me feel better to make somebody feel bad, especially when they've done nothing to me,
mm-hmm.
you know, and you
Yeah.
ain't do nothing to me. So that's just that's all I wanted to say to you
Okay,
as
yeah,
far as
that's
that
all
goes,
good.
and also that it's okay to be human. Like
Yep,
you don't
sure
have to
is.
apologize or explain yourself like that for just being a human being and having emotions, having feelings, and even having fragile feelings is part of being human. But
Yeah.
I do still think, yeah, it's crazy. I ain't taking that back.
I might
But
be,
that's okay. You fit
might
right
be,
in. You fit
what?
right in. You fit right in with the rest of us.
I might be crazy, but I mean, as
Yeah,
again,
that's why you still. If you been around this, how many years? Yeah, you
about
ain't right.
five.
You can't be wrapped too tight.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but
Same people get the hell up out of here.
yeah, but like I said, I ain't judging nobody. I'm gonna just say this. I want everybody to just learn from what y'all seen take place today because that was fucked up. Don't nobody business in the background need to be brought to the damn forefront. When people say leave them the fuck alone, leave people the fuck alone. You know what I mean? It's just like just the desperation for attention is what the fuck. It's like what the fuck. And but meanwhile, you going around talking about somebody else can't stand to be ignored. No, bitch, ignore me. You know what I'm saying? Fucking ignore me, and I'll ignore you right back. If somebody ignoring you, let them ignore you. Like, don't just go around fucking with people just because you want somebody to know. Oh, this person wanted me. Like, come on, man. It's like once again, how much attention do you need? Like, bro. And once again,
Hey,
like I said, I don't wish nothing bad on that young lady that he's talking to. I don't because it's like, I mean, I guess she could possibly still be in the age where she's still making dumb decisions. You know what I mean? I don't wish nothing bad on her. But like I said, I don't it,
the shortest distance between
it
2
is
points
what
is a straight line.
what you saying.
Now, I'm just saying you said you wasn't gonna make it about this one, and here you go.
What you
You
mean?
might
Make
want
it
to
about
stay.
who?
You said you wasn't gonna make it about him. You kept saying you
Oh, I mean,
said
that's not
multiple
what it was
times
about.
that you don't wish anything ill on somebody else
No,
on
because this is what I'm
another
saying.
woman.
Because what I'm saying is, I just feel like it been proven over and over again that this is this nigga will bite your whole fucking arm off. He will rip your shit off at the shoulder. But I mean, people still fucking with him like you know what I mean. So it's like you can't help people. You just gotta let people just do what they do. Like I said, like people told me. Now I only put my toe in, so I only lost my toe out the shit. Some people put their hand in. Some people put their fucking leg in at the knee. Some people put their whole goddamn head in. I ain't do all that. So like I said, I don't like I don't know what type of person that is. I heard a lot of stuff about what type of person she is. I don't know. Like I said, I only ever seen her just be sweet and kind to people. That's all I know. Now, I'm not saying I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know. But like I said, I never had a problem with the young lady. So I don't want it to come out like I'm saying, oh, she gonna get hers. No, I mean, it is what the fuck it is. You know what I mean? But I don't wish no harm on nobody. Hopefully whatever the fuck end up happening, she'll learn from it. And I'm not commenting on nobody relationship because everybody fucking grown. They do what they want to do. So yeah.
So what you gonna do as far as you concerned?
Oh, I don't
Tell
have nothing
everybody.
else to do with it. I'm probably gonna take this video
No,
down.
no, no. Damn it. You. Period.
What you mean? I
Like,
ain't
hey,
got nothing
are
to do
you
with it.
gonna be focused on you, or are you gonna be
Oh yeah,
focused
I'm
on
already
what other
focused
people
on
are
me.
doing and telling us that
Oh
you
hell
don't
yeah,
care
hell
what they
yeah.
doing?
I already been focused on me. That's why I said like it's funny that this person said I wasn't gonna stop coming around. I wasn't gonna like stop talking to him, whatever the fucking case may be. I don't you know what I mean? If I say, hey, I'll be damned. Like, bitch, once you do something to me where I know like you really trying to hurt me, like you really trying to see me fucked up out here, you really trying to get people to attack me. Now I mean you can't like there's certain shit you can't take back and just like I don't want to have nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? I think yeah, anyway, but like I said, I've been washed my hands of that. I'm
Do you
only
still feel attacked? You still currently feel like you're being attacked or dogpiled on?
I mean no, that's over with. No, that's over with. And like I said, whatever people thought about me, if they being honest with themselves, they're gonna see no, it was not me, it was never me. It was never me. And like I said, I knew, but like I said, I'm not trying to say, oh, that nigga ain't never tried to talk to me like that. I don't think I'm his type. But I'm saying, but that's kind of the point I'm trying to make. It wasn't never nothing like that. And people was trying to make it seem like it was like that. And it wasn't ever like that. But all I'm trying to say is like all the people who try to make it seem like I was the fucking problem, no, it's not me. It wasn't ever me. It wasn't ever me. The only
'Cause
thing I
I'm
did
just
wrong
saying. I
was
mean, hey, Chalk. Okay, hey, I gotta say something. I saw your community tab post. You had some firearms on your community tab.
so what's
You,
wrong with that?
you That's why I was like, hey,
I think I'm gonna do a live where I'm cleaning my guns. You know, that'd be interesting. Like use my overhead camera because they need to be cleaned. Um, I haven't done that in a while, even though I haven't been using them like at all. But they still need to be cleaned regularly. Um,
Miss Kitty number 7, you scaring the children.
what you mean? Yeah, but no, I got some like I had got my guns during COVID. Like I was like a kind of an anti-gun type of person, but like during COVID, I don't know. It's just I just was thinking shit was about to go haywire. I thought we was gonna be fighting over the last can of beans. I thought people was gonna be trying to kick in your door and shit. So I got my first gun, and then that gun was kind of big. Um, and then I was like, okay, I just need a little one so I could carry around. So then I got another one. But then when I was at the range, I tried out this 45 that I really liked, and so I ended up getting that. So, but I'm done. I don't need no more guns. You know, I'll be into something like a lot for like a while, but then I'll be, I'm like, okay, I'm
Now,
over.
as little as you are, how much practice you need to be able to just fire a 45 with accuracy?
No, it's a real nice gun. So no, it ain't. It don't have no issues. I have a FNX 45 tactical. That's a nice ass gun. And no, it is real easy to fire.
Nah,
And
I
that's
know. You just said you said an F and X.
yeah,
Yeah,
FNX 45 tactical. Yep.
that's an expensive weapon.
And I have and it got the little threaded barrel thing on it, which I don't, plan on using, but I just liked how it looked. And that's the one I tried out at the range. So I was like, yeah, I want one just like this. And I got it in the same color too. I got it in desert sand. Yeah. Maybe that'll be the first one that I clean when I come up on here. But I would still say my favorite brand of guns is
Well,
Sig.
be careful. I mean, I don't know what you want to do with your channel, but just be careful brandishing firearms.
Well, I don't think
Um,
that's brandishing. I'm gonna be cleaning it. I ain't gonna, I ain't come on show. You know what I
yeah, I
mean?
mean, if you just gonna bring it up on camera and have it taken apart, while you're cleaning it and
Yeah,
stuff like that,
I'm
you'll
not even
probably
gonna
be
come
in
on camera.
in good shape. But just be careful.
Yeah, yeah. No,
YouTube be tripping.
my video from last night got taken down because I put a video like in the video, like music, and they took that shit down too. Why they blocked it or whatever. So that's why I ain't put no music in there today. So I was testing the waters, and they let me know they ain't playing with me. So yeah. Anyway, let me get off here. I got so much shit to do.
All right.
I went live as soon as
Enjoy your evening. I hope everything's
I won't
going
be. No, I'm
well
not
with
even.
it.
I'll be working. I'll be fucking working.
Well,
So
and enjoy your work. You do what you love what you do. You never work a day in your life. But I hope everything works out, and I hope them piano lessons are
oh,
paying off
oh yes, they
as
are.
well.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, most of these people need a hobby, so if you got one,
I
shout
agree.
out to you.
I
All
agree.
right,
All right. Have a
all
good
right,
one.
peace.
Bye. So yeah, thanks for coming up, Auntie. If nobody else wants to come up, I'm about to get out of here because I really ain't even had time to do this today. The only reason I did it, I literally went live as soon as I got in the door, or as soon as I got my thumbnail up and stuff like that. Just because I know if I tried to wait till tomorrow, I would not give a fuck about it no more. Cause I've noticed like if I be saying I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna talk about this tomorrow, I'm gonna talk about this later, it's not gonna fucking happen. So I just say let me just go ahead and just get this out as soon as I get in the damn door. Cause I still, like I said, I got some work to do. I'm very, busy. I don't really have too much free time right now. But once again, just to wrap up my thoughts, I don't fault honestly, I don't fault any of the ladies that's dealing with him. Oh, yeah, and the only I'm trying to make sure this come out the right way. Um, people can fool you. You know what I mean? You could be thinking like, I mean, people could fool you. Like you could be dealing with somebody in whatever capacity, and then you could find out at the end that their whole purpose, the whole fucking time was just to hurt you. You know what I mean? Like they was working their way up to that. So people are deceptive, you know what I mean? And I just think, like I said, he didn't like me using the word innocent to describe women, but I'm saying if you getting a whole bunch of women to open up to you in any type of way, whether that be like as a friend or romantically or whatever, and you think it's funny to like be playing with people's feelings and shit. And like I said, when I say feelings, I don't necessarily mean romantic feelings, whatever the case may be, romantic, friendship, whatever. I just think that's real, like that's a real petty hobby for you to have, you know. That's like I made this analogy maybe a couple weeks ago. It's like it's just like it's kind of like stealing candy from a baby. You getting people to trust you just so you can turn on them, and it's real sick, and you just showing how you came up, you know what I mean? That's all you showing us. But and like I said, another reason why I don't, judge anybody. I ain't gonna say I don't judge anybody that deal with them. I do, but at the same time, honestly, like it's gonna be its own punishment. Dealing with that person is gonna be its own punishment. So yeah, and it looked like everybody that dealt with this person regrets it by this point. I'm trying to see who they might have a couple people yet that don't regret it yet, but if 95% of the people that done dealt with this person are regretting it, even people that done got hundreds of dollars from this person, I mean that should tell you something. So like, you know, I'm not giving nobody no goddamn advice, but I'm just saying, don't think your day not coming. It is. Oh, it is. But if nobody else wants to hit the panel, I'm gonna get out of here. I wish everybody involved, I wish them well. I don't have no problems with nobody. Hopefully nobody took this live like the wrong way. The only point that I was trying to make is y'all was trying to act like it was me. It was never me. It was never me. No, it was not. And I would just want to know where the fuck y'all at today. All the people that was talking all this shit about me, where y'all at? Because y'all see the pattern is not with me. That's all I'm gonna say. Somebody got a pattern, but the person who had the pattern was not me. And I want to say to that person, you need help. Um, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what to say to you. Like, I don't know. I don't understand you. You need help. I wish you well. I would never fuck with you again, but I wish you well. And anybody else that's continuing to deal with him, hey, we gonna all be here for the fucking crash show. We gonna be here. We ain't going away. All right, y'all. So y'all have a good night. Thank y'all so much for coming through. I will see y'all around. All right. Bye.